What's the word, people? This your boy John, back with another reaction video. This is 10 times beyond scared straight, cross the line. It goes down in the penitentiaries, boy. If you ain't ready for it, don't do it. If you can't do the time, don't do the crime. Straight up. I'm just telling you. Let's go ahead and get into this video, though.
Hey, how you doing? Welcome back to Film Trip. On today's episode, we will be talking about 10 times Beyond Scared Straight crossed the line. But before we move on, if you're a fan of Beyond Scared Straight, make sure to hit that like button. Also, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon to stay updated whenever we upload and stuff. And if you're a new subscriber, let us know by commenting down below, and we will feature you in a later video. With all that being said and good, let's hop straight into the video. Number 10. Cedric and the Toilet. 15-year-old Cedric initially took his jail experience in stride, casually disobeying the guards and talking back. Unfortunately for Cedric, things took a sharp turn when he was placed in a cell surrounded by inmates. While Cedric managed to get away with being rude to the guards, he seemingly had no choice but to respect the inmates. In one of the most disgusting scenes on the show, one inmate told Cedric to wash his noticeably stained underwear in a toilet. Of course, Cedric refused. Not happy with Cedric's disobedience though, the inmate then tried pushing Cedric's head into the toilet. Cedric was obviously disgusted, although he luckily managed to walk away without having to touch the soiled underwear. Number 9. Shots fired. While the Scared Straight program aims to scare teens away from the harsh reality of prison, the truth is that the teens are safe throughout their prison tour about 99% of the time. The missing 1% comes from the situations where the actual inmates get too carried away. An example of this occurred at the Floyd County Jail. After the teen inmates were placed alone in cells with the doors shut, the real prisoners were instructed to come and yell at the teens and bang on the doors in an attempt to scare them. The teens were safe in this situation, given that there was a big metal door between them and the prisoners. That is, until two prisoners took things too far when they somehow managed to force open the door to one of the cells, instantly rushing in to yell at and push the teen offender. When the guards noticed what was going on, their first priority was obviously the teen's safety. So they did not hesitate to fire warning shots, prompting all the inmates to drop to the ground to avoid being shot. Number 8. SWAT extraction. Although this insane moment didn't actually involve any of the teen offenders, they managed to get a good look at the reality of prison life when a situation unfolded at the prison that resulted in the SWAT team being called. When an inmate refused to leave his cell, the teen offenders watched as the SWAT team stormed into the prison and used a taser that was strong enough to paralyze someone for 5 seconds to subdue the inmate. All of the teen offenders looked on in horror as they witnessed what an officer described as the result of someone not wanting to move. So, they made a move. Surely witnessing this was enough to remind the teens that in prison, they have no choice but to do as they are told. There was a lesson to be learned in the chaos though, as the teens were so shocked by the situation that most admitted that they would not be able to handle an extraction if it happened to them. This was definitely one experience that scared them straight. Number 7. Lay fights guard. It seems that most of the teens who appear on Beyond Scared Straight put on a tough act for the cameras, yet in a case where both the guard and teen made poor decisions, 13-year-old Lay went way beyond a bad attitude when she actually tried to punch a guard. It all started when the teens were forced to jog in place, and the guard noticed that Lay had her fists balled. While exercising some terribly bad judgment, the guard began to taunt Lay by saying things like, "You want to hit me?" and "Hit me if you want to." Well, that's exactly what Lay tried to do. Lay swung at the guard and thankfully missed her punch by inches. Her attempt to attack the guard quickly backfired though, as she was immediately pushed down and restrained. Although Lay definitely should not have tried to hit her, the guard is also arguably to blame for her constant taunting.
That's what happens in there though.
Number 6. Combing chest hair. While it is common to hear teens featured on the show claim to be gang members, these claims are often more for show than reality. Despite their claims being fake, the teens always manage to upset inmates who are actually gang members. 16-year-old Kenneth is an example of what happens when real gang members come across a wannabe. In an odd and disturbing display of power, Kenneth and another teen named David were told to comb an inmate's chest hair. David was handed a comb and actually started combing the inmate's chest hair. The scene got even more disturbing as Kenneth refused to even touch the comb. His refusal resulted in another inmate getting extremely angry at the apparent disrespect and having to be forcibly removed from the room after threatening to beat Kenneth up.
Racism.
Number 5.
Issues.
Prank gone wrong. In another case of mealtime at the Oneida County Jail gone wrong, the male teen offenders witnessed what happens when you don't take the program seriously. 14-year-old Darian made some pretty questionable choices while eating dinner with inmates. Almost as questionable as the meal itself. He began to laugh while 2 inmates forced him to eat another teen's meal. The guards seemingly let him get away with it, which made Darian think he could just get away with anything. Unfortunately for Darian, the guards were fed up with his smug attitude too. In a terrible prank gone wrong, Darian stood and turned very fast, acting as if he would try to run. Guards quickly restrained him and carried his handcuffed body out into the hallway, as Darian cried and admitted that he was stupid. He definitely learned a lesson that the guards at the Oneida County Jail do not joke around. Number 4. Restraint chair. The female teen inmates at the Oneida County Jail learned the hard way what happens when you disobey orders. After serving up a questionable meal of bread and rice, the guards and inmates were fed up with the teen offender's refusal to eat. One unfortunate teen got the worst of it all, as the guards decided to make an example out of her. Despite her tears, the guards put her in a cell, hoping that some time alone would help her realize she needed to work up an appetite. When this tactic didn't work, the guards resorted to a more drastic measure. They placed the teen in a restraint chair. As her fellow teen offenders watched, she was strapped down into a chair by 2 guards, as another guard mentioned she would be completely unable to move and left in the chair overnight if she continued to disobey orders. It's safe to say that this teen probably learned her lesson and will be finishing all of her meals from now on. Number 3. Inmate threatens cameraman. During a straight talk portion of the teen offender's prison tour in Suffolk, Virginia, one inmate got a little carried away. While talking to the teens, an inmate named Lasanda, who was serving a 10-year sentence, began throwing around tables and chairs as she confronted each of the teens one-to-one. Apparently, the cameraman stood too close to Lasanda, who quickly yelled at him to get out of her face. The cameraman obliged, and Lasanda happily continued her rampage. That is, until the cameraman got in her way a second time. Unfortunately for the cameraman, 2 times was enough for Lasanda to snap and began making threats. The guards, who were concerned with the cameraman and teen offender's safety, quickly pushed Lasanda out of the room. It goes to show that nobody is safe in prison, not even the cameraman filming your favorite show. Number 2. Spitting on inmate. When given the opportunity to talk to inmates face-to-face, things often get a little heated. Between the teen offender's bad attitudes and the inmate's short fuses, it's easy to see how situations can get out of control fast. Caesar, who was in the Scared Straight program for stealing, was confronted by inmates telling him he isn't tough, as well as calling him a few names. This all proved to be enough to get under Caesar's skin, as he yelled back at the inmates to shut up, before shockingly spitting on them. Caesar was immediately pushed against the wall by guards, who yelled at him for spitting. It seemed like Caesar regretted his decision though, as he asked the guards why they were letting this happen to him, only to be reminded that this is jail. Number 1. Miles' rude awakening. 12-year-old thief and liar Miles got a rude awakening during his experience in the Scared Straight program, literally. Miles thought he was safe for the night after the teen offenders were sent off to sleep. Unfortunately for Miles, it is prison, and nobody's safe in prison. The guards decided to burst into the teen offender's cell and wake them up at 2 a.m. Miles was terrified to say the least, as he was yelled at and forced to leave the cell by 2 guards. Unfortunately for Miles, this was not the only time he would be awoken by guards. Although the second time was a bit
Well, you
funnier
don't want to
since
get
Miles
used to
was
that.
probably
You gonna act
drool
like
all
that.
along
You
the
don't
side
want to
of
get
his
used to that.
face.
Shawty gonna be back in there. Now I wish
Hey,
y'all
you
know,
made it
trust
all the
me.
way through. Thanks so much for watching. If you liked this video, drop a like. Also, comment down below which moment you thought crossed the line a little bit further than the others.
That
Also,
wasn't even really
don't
crossing
forget
the
to
line though. I was really mild though. Like I wasn't really crossing the line. I don't know who made this, but I don't know. Maybe it's just from somebody just looking from the outside in, but this is definitely not it though. Definitely not it. But leave a comment on what you think, and then tell me what else you want me to react to. If you want me to keep doing videos like this, then I'll do that for you, man. But I'm out of here. Peace.